charges filed not only against the defendant, but also against the person who is his friend or supporter who does threaten a witness. And that was the case in the R. Kelly criminal case as well.
In a third attempt to secure his release from jail ahead of his trial, Diddy has once again offered a $50 million bond and promised to comply with strict home detention. His attorney submitted a brief to a federal appeals court judge, arguing that the sensationalism surrounding his arrest has distorted the analysis of his bail situation. Diddy is scheduled to return to court on Thursday for a hearing that could determine his future. Facing a series of severe charges including trafficking, racketeering, and coercion, Diddy's legal battle has become one of the most high-profile and serious cases in the entertainment world. The allegations against him involve over 120 victims, spanning men, women, and even minors, suggesting a disturbing and widespread pattern of misconduct. The diverse range of victims, representing various age groups and backgrounds, has only intensified the gravity of the case, casting a dark shadow over Diddy's legacy and career. As the trial progresses, the stakes continue to rise and Diddy's future remains uncertain, with the potential for a lengthy prison sentence looming over him.
You know, I do think that several members of Congress in some of my discussions have brought up media literacy, because that is a part of what happened here.
Wait a second, so Usher, Pink, Megan Fox, and a bunch of other celebrities are scrubbing all their information off of X, every tweet they've ever done. Well, that's very interesting. That's a rabbit hole in itself. But listen to what AOC is saying right here. They're coming for your free speech, y'all.
We're going to have to figure out how we rein in our media environment so that you can't just spew disinformation and misinformation. It's one thing to have differing opinions, but it's another thing entirely to just say things that are false. And so that's something that we're looking into.
Claims suggest that the alleged misconduct occurred across multiple locations, including private residences, hotels, and at infamous wild parties which were reportedly attended by high-profile individuals. At these events, Diddy is accused of exploiting vulnerable individuals, with some of the most disturbing allegations involving minors. On the PBD podcast, boxing legend Mike Tyson weighed in on the long-standing rumors surrounding Diddy's involvement in the 1990s Tupac Shakur case. Tyson, who has frequently discussed hip-hop culture and its controversies, brought up the persistent connection between Diddy and the infamous shooting of Tupac, a topic that has been a subject of debate and speculation for decades. Looming over him.
Spent some time together, and then I interviewed Greg Kading. And if you know who Greg Kading is, Greg Kading, are you familiar with Greg Kading?
No.
Greg Kading, if you can pull up his Wikipedia, Greg Kading is the guy that he's the guy that was doing the investigation on Tupac.
Yeah,
and Biggie.
I remember this.
Okay, so
they had a little television show about this.
Yes,
yeah.
You're right, absolutely. And he was known as the multi-law enforcement task force that investigated the murders of rap stars Tupac and Biggie. That's the Wikipedia story about him, right? So I said, so who was really behind this? So in the video, when I interview him, you know how somebody's trying to arrest him? Like if you've seen the movie American Gangster and they got these pictures. Is this the guy at the top? Is this the guy? So I have 50 different pictures with magnets, and he's putting these things up on. If you go to the video, you'll see how I set it up. Put Greg Kading by David. And I said, who is really the guy behind it? He says, well, we first thought it was this. Then we first thought it was that. And we first thought it was this. And everything's going. Then at the end, the conclusion, after multiple conversations with him and different people, it came down to Biggie. And to me, there's so many right there. If you can just zoom in, that's the way we had it. So we're kind of going back and forth to see who was behind the guys that killed Biggie, Tupac, Easy. I'm a hip hop guy. I grew up to all this stuff with NWA. This is my, Straight Outta Compton was a movie I watched God knows how many times because I listened to all of that stuff. I'm an LA kid. So why is it that so many people in music and Hollywood fear this guy, Diddy, as if he's untouchable, and even the...
Well, Sugar Diddy.
Diddy. Diddy, not Suge.
You said Biggie, but you meant...
I meant to say
yeah.
Diddy, not Biggie.
Well,
Diddy.
if you punch in on the picture here, you see Diddy, you see Suge Knight, and then a lot of their cohorts down there, but Tupac and Biggie at the top, as you were, Pat.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's recent comments hinted at the broader suspicion that Diddy may have been involved in orchestrating or influencing the events surrounding Tupac Shakur's 1994 shooting. Tyson noted that these long-standing speculations have gained new attention in light of the recent legal controversies surrounding Diddy. He also alluded to Diddy's associations with other prominent figures in the entertainment industry, some of whom were linked to deceased stars like Aaliyah. Tyson's remarks have added fuel to the ongoing debate about Diddy's possible connections to the darker side of the hip-hop world, especially as the spotlight on him intensifies with each new revelation in his legal battle.
Let me go buy you some clothes. Let me take you shopping. He's like, well, you want to take me shopping? What are you talking about? So T.I. called him out. 50 called him out. But some people are afraid. What do you know about? Because some people are talking about there's Diddy involvement with Jamie and something happened because he was calling him out for some of the parties he was putting up. Is there anything you have opinions on Diddy? Have you had any experiences with Diddy?
No, just I knew him for a long time.
Got it. And with you, he was chill. He was good. He was
Awesome guy.
Yeah.
I knew him before he was Diddy. Yeah, I knew him for a long time. When I first became champ, I knew him. I remember him. He used to have crates when he used to have my after parties and stuff. Also when they were throwing parties. I remember
This
him.
is when he was the CEO founder of Bad Boy.
No, I don't
Biggie.
think he was Bad Boy yet. No, he
Really?
wasn't him. Damon Dash and all those guys. They weren't on yet. I was like the first street guy that really got on. You know, I'm talking about the guy doing crime in the streets that became a television guy, and everyone knew he was a celebrity, had fancy
wow.
cars. I was the first.
This is all in Brooklyn.
I'm the first of our generation of that crew. You know, the street hustlers that really blew up like that.
And you guys all knew each other.
Yeah,
It's the same era.
Listen, this young lady that works for my company, and she started saying names to people I remember when I was 11, 12 years old. And it baffles me that you think you got away from these people. You'll never see them again. You knew them when you were at the worst of your level or heard about them. And you're not the only one God had his hand on. These guys made them successful too.
Kim Porter, Diddy's former partner and the mother of his children, made several shocking claims in her posthumously published book, which shed light on Diddy's alleged involvement in major controversies, including the 1994 shooting of Tupac Shakur. In her writings, Porter reportedly provided detailed accounts and raised suspicions regarding Diddy's actions and his connections to incidents shrouded in mystery, including Tupac's murder. She is said to have documented unsettling events during their time together, suggesting that Diddy was either aware of or directly connected to events that have long been clouded in secrecy. Porter's book, which gained renewed attention amid Diddy's ongoing legal battles, has reignited discussions about his potential involvement in high-profile cases. Despite the gravity of the accusations against him, Diddy appeared remarkably calm and composed outside the courthouse. His demeanor, often scrutinized by the media, seemed at odds with the serious nature of the charges he faces. Observers noted that he navigated the intense press attention with the same sense of control that has long been part of his public persona, presenting a stark contrast to the weight of the legal proceedings and the serious allegations surrounding him.
Diddy Combs has been denied bail in connection with the sexual abuse and sex trafficking charges he faces. And as Les Trent reports, the music mogul who once traveled by private jet to all those mansions is now in a jail that is notorious for its bad living conditions.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs spent his first night behind bars inside a facility that is being called Hell on Earth. The Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn is notorious for its appalling living conditions and rampant violence. How bad is it inside this federal lockup? There have been 2 murders, 4 suicides, and numerous stabbings and lockdowns in recent years. It's so out of control inside that 4 federal judges are reportedly refusing to send any more prisoners here. Donald Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen, spent a harrowing year in federal custody. He says for someone used to a life of luxury like Diddy, prison life is a severe shock.
You have a desk, you have a plastic chair, you have your bed with a 1.5-inch mattress, no pillow, and you also have a locker. So you basically have 3 feet by 5 feet to move around. So you have a basic 15 square feet. It is a horrible, horrible place.
Diddy's lawyers were so eager to keep him out of jail, they offered his palatial $48 million home in Miami Beach and his private jets as bail Today, they are even offering to restrict female visitors to his homes, except for his mother, daughters, and the mothers of his children if he is released. They told the judge the jail he was being sent to is dreadful, dirty, inhuman, and an ongoing tragedy.
How's your dad doing? How's your dad doing?
Family members appeared somber as they arrived at federal court in Manhattan today in another attempt to get out on bail.
Curtis 50 Cent Jackson has reportedly been working on a documentary titled Diddy Do It, which he recently sold to Netflix. The project has generated a buzz on social media, especially after user Juju tweeted about it, noting that 50 Cent has spent years collecting material on Diddy. The documentary is expected to explore Diddy's controversial history, including his alleged connections to major events in hip-hop, most notably the 1994 shooting of Tupac Shakur. Through this project, 50 Cent aims to shine a light on various aspects of Diddy's life, including the legal troubles that have long shadowed his career. In addition to examining Diddy's high-profile lifestyle, the documentary will reportedly provide new insights into his alleged ties to Tupac's murder. Known for his unapologetically candid approach to filmmaking, 50 Cent's documentary is anticipated to dive deep into long-held suspicions and allegations linking Diddy to the events surrounding Tupac's case. This in-depth exploration promises to investigate Diddy's influence within the hip-hop industry, as well as any potential role he may have played in some of the most tragic and mysterious moments in its history.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know
He did it.
You've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
But was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal. You go to the 90s and Keefe D said he paid him to kill Tupac.
Yeah.
It's a little, like, you get the craziest accusations. You had TMZ created a docuseries, they went to Tubi, but the series is saying the downfall of Diddy.
A viral video recently shared on social media captured shocking claims made by Freddie P., a former associate of Diddy. In the video, Freddie P. stated that Diddy's powerful image in the industry has silenced many individuals who have harrowing stories about their experiences with him. He suggested that Diddy's influence has enabled disturbing incidents to remain hidden, leaving many stunned by the revelations now coming to light from his former associates and allies. Freddie P.'s comments have added to the growing chorus of voices questioning Diddy's actions and the extent of his control over the narrative surrounding his career.
It's hard to say because I don't want to spoil what's coming up, you know what I'm saying? I just want to say this, like I said, it gets deeper and deeper. And the more that come out, the more intriguing the story gonna be. All I want to tell people is, when that Netflix series come out, it's a rapper coming out with a Netflix series. I won't say no name. I don't want to spoil it for him. I'm not a friend of his. I don't want to, spoil something he got going on. But I will say this: he's doing a phenomenal job, to the point where I was in awe. You get what I'm saying? I was presented the opportunity to work with him, but like I said, the money wasn't enough for me to leave my couch. But he's doing a phenomenal job, man. There's so many people that's hurt behind this. There's so many people that got, it's guys that can't come out because of their image. You know what I'm saying? That'll make your eyes go like, whoa. I know about the slams, the Stevie J's. I'm in a circle. I know about y'all. Y'all confirmed. I'm so happy. It's more. It's more. But I'm so happy it finally came out. A lot of stuff people don't understand Puffy endured. A lot of stuff Puffy went through when he was younger. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Like I say, when this DVD come out, y'all check it out, man. We watched the Icon fall.
The infamous wild parties hosted by Diddy have emerged as a central element in the growing allegations against him. These gatherings, often attended by high-profile figures, are reportedly where much of the alleged misconduct took place. Witnesses have described the events as hedonistic, with claims of coercive and exploitative behavior, particularly toward vulnerable individuals. The allegations add a chilling dimension to Diddy's legal troubles, as multiple victims have linked their traumatic experiences directly to incidents at these parties. Disturbing footage said to show ritualistic activities occurring at Diddy's gatherings has surfaced as key evidence in the case. Prosecutors have presented these videos in court, which reportedly capture unsettling scenes from the events, further strengthening the case against him. The footage provides visual documentation of the alleged environment of manipulation and control at these parties. This evidence is expected to play a pivotal role in the trial, offering physical proof of the activities that form the basis of several of the charges Diddy faces.
I think that there's no way this trial is then going to happen in May?
It's unlikely, especially if there's a superseding indictment involving minors, because minors present a completely different set of circumstances. Because we know through his lawyers, Combs is arguing that the sexual activity happened, but it was consensual. Of course, for sex trafficking, you need one of those three elements: force, fraud, or coercion. Obviously, minors cannot consent to any sexual activity, so that would be a very different defense entirely. The defense would have to be that the activity didn't happen at all and the individuals are lying. So I think that's going to be the potential game changer if we do get the minors wrapped up into a superseding indictment. And we know, at least if you believe the civil attorneys, there are 25 minor victims, one of which is as young as 9.
And those suits haven't been filed yet, but that's what Tony Busby, this Texas attorney, has indicated that we should expect to see in these lawsuits. Elizabeth, I want to go to you. So as our other Elizabeth said, there was nothing about bail. And that's not surprising, because that issue of bail has now been appealed to a different court, to the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. I was going over the paperwork from Sean Combs' attorneys. We have two questions about that. Number one, from Simply Sarah on YouTube, his lawyer did file bail paperwork. Yes. This is the second question. This is from Simply Sarah. I'll say Simply Sarah had two bail questions. Second one is, was this his last chance for bail? Meaning the paperwork that he just filed.
Yeah, so they filed paperwork basically appealing the decision of the two prior judges denying him bail to the Second Circuit. And, you know, technically if they're denied, they do have another higher court, the U.S. Supreme Court, to go to, but I think that's very unlikely. I think this would be the final stop, them appealing to the Second Circuit.
What do you think of his arguments? And let me just lay out what some of these arguments are. So first they say, we have presented a very attractive bail package. We have put $50 million secured by two properties, 24/7 security monitoring from an outside security firm, no access to phone, no access to internet, visitor logs, whatever other conditions you want to put. And they also said in their paperwork, Sean Combs knew he was under investigation since January. His attorneys immediately reached out to the Southern District of New York, even before there were raids, before there was charges.
Diddy has long been open about the wild and extravagant nature of his lifestyle, frequently referencing the excesses and freedoms associated with his parties. What was once seen as part of his public persona is now under intense scrutiny as potential evidence in his legal battles. Prosecutors argue that Diddy's well-documented attitude toward his parties aligns with the serious allegations against him, suggesting that he used his wealth and influence to create an environment that enabled mistreatment and exploitation of vulnerable individuals. This past openness about his party lifestyle could be crucial in substantiating the claims made by alleged victims. Adding fuel to the fire, social media influencer Matt Wallace recently tweeted that he had obtained photos showing satanic rituals allegedly performed at Diddy's parties. If these claims are substantiated, it could provide another layer of evidence supporting the case against the hip-hop mogul. Wallace's posts have sparked significant public interest, raising questions about the true nature of Diddy's gatherings and whether they involved ritualistic or cult-like activities, as some witnesses have claimed. Wallace stated, "I have obtained photos of satanic rituals being performed at Diddy parties, further fueling the speculation surrounding these events." The long-standing controversy linking Diddy to the 1994 murder of Tupac Shakur has also resurfaced, with some pointing to Diddy's alleged involvement in a plot against the rapper. This ongoing speculation continues to cast a shadow over Diddy's legacy, with both his personal and professional life now under intense public and legal scrutiny.
Acknowledged that his mother, Janice Combs, came from Florida for her son, and that his kids also traveled to be in the same courtroom with him. Combs' attorney, Anthony Rico, sat by his side throughout the proceeding. He's handling the appeal of his bail denial, which is a separate case in the appeals court.
He's making an adjustment. He had his family here today to support him. We really want to put an end to all of the clowning that we see on the internet. This is a serious proceeding with serious consequences.
The judge set a trial date of May 5th, 2025. The lead federal prosecutor took issue with Combs' attorney Mark Agnifillo's extensive comments in a TMZ documentary, alleging the government was guilty of racial bias and targeting Combs. Agnifillo complained about government leaks to the media. The result was a mutual gag order.
I made a request for the judge to issue what we call the gag order, and the judge is going to issue it on a reciprocal basis. So I'm not going to say anything that I didn't say in my papers and in court.
Women's rights attorney Gloria Allred represents some of the accusers of Combs in civil cases and spoke outside the court.
It's challenging because for many of them, remembering what they allege he did to them is triggering and traumatizing.
Although no concrete evidence has ever directly linked Diddy to the 1994 murder of Tupac Shakur, suspicions surrounding his potential involvement have persisted for decades. Over the years, various individuals in the industry have revisited these claims, fueling ongoing speculation. Recent events have reignited these rumors, bringing renewed attention to the unresolved questions about Diddy's possible role in one of hip-hop's most tragic and high-profile cases. Before her passing in 2018, Kim Porter, Diddy's former partner and the mother of his children, reportedly voiced several concerns about his behavior, hinting at darker secrets and manipulative tendencies. She is said to have made statements suggesting that Diddy may have been involved in, or at least aware of, criminal activities, including allegations connected to Tupac's murder. These revelations have added another layer to the ongoing mystery surrounding Diddy's past and his possible ties to some of hip-hop's most controversial events.
You say his fame makes him a target.
Yes, in my humble estimation, his life, his safety is in jeopardy in any correctional lockup right now. If it is true, as reported, that he is housed in the special housing unit, it's important to note that the special housing unit is a lockdown, 24-hour lockdown unit. The MDC Brooklyn is a high-rise. The vast majority of the floors are general population floors. But the special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown facility. So this is for Mr. Combs' protection. His incredible worldwide celebrity combined with the allegations, the charges now, and indictment, of course, of acts of violence against women make him a very attractive target.
All
so
right.
obviously they need to safeguard him.
Kim Porter's sudden passing in 2018, which some have described as suspicious, has fueled speculation that she may have been silenced due to her knowledge of certain issues surrounding Diddy. While no evidence has substantiated these claims, her statements and the implications they carry continue to be a significant part of the broader narrative surrounding Diddy's ongoing controversies. That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates, and we'll see you next time.